Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a new era again, and here are the new SmackDown graphics. Just like Raw, except of course blue, and the current SmackDown champions as well. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and this is my review, very late review of this past week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. It is the April 12th, lost track for a second, 2024 edition, and it took place at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. This is, of course, the Fallout episode of SmackDown from WrestleMania, and again, we are recorded. We are not live. I'm just so busy right now, guys. I'm in the midst of putting up a fence. I am trying to keep my house in order as well. So it's quite a busy time. Let's put it that way. So I got to get caught up. And I'm not wearing my attire. I'm trying to keep up also with my weekly TV shows as well. With all that and then everything else. So again, I am just way behind. So I'm trying to get caught up tonight at least with this SmackDown review. Maybe Raw review. But I don't have any graphics made for like a thumbnail or whatnot at this moment. I'm probably just going to upload this just so it's there and then dress it up later maybe if I have to do that. But we'll do that tonight. As far as this week's episode of SmackDown, I thought it was, a good Fallout show. Like Raw, it wasn't like a big kick like, oh my gosh, this was awesome. No, it was just like a good show setting some stuff up. Mainly, of course, who's going to be fighting for number one contendership for the undisputed WWE Championship or whatever they're calling Cody Rhodes title now. I think they're calling it just I don't think they're calling it the Universal title anymore. If I look correctly at the app for a second, see what it is listed as, it is undisputed WWE Champion. It looks like they're calling it. It's not the Universal Championship anymore. So I am gonna have to see, but I'll have to see, of course, how that is addressed going forward. But yeah, it mostly was setting up for that, falling out from other stuff that happened as well. An interesting little turn of events with the Bloodline, and of course a squash match from Bron Breakker, who has a new theme song. He got Def Rebelled, as they say. And I'm not really a big fan of the new theme song. It sounds super generic. I don't know what was wrong with his previous one, but, it is what it is. And, of course, just hyping up more of the draft, which they have shown Ava Raine, NXT's general manager, and The Rock's daughter. And there's some teases that there could be some people drafted to NXT. Which, again, there are some superstars I wouldn't be opposing going back to NXT. As, of course, if they're not doing anything on the main roster, put them back in NXT and just repackage and come back up. There's, of course, a few call-ups possibly happening as well that I expect to happen. But we'll, of course, get to that when we get closer to the draft, which is next weekend, actually. And this Friday, SmackDown's in Pittsburgh, which I will be attending with my good friends Daniel Gaiza and Penta L. Miller, as I call him when he appears on the channel. But it's late. We're going to get right to this and talk about SmackDown. The show opened up with Cody Rhodes coming out. and just, recaps talking with The Rock on Monday, and he says, who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch, and apologizes for cursing as well. He knows the item The Rock put in his hand, a wartime overture, uncomfortable and awkward, and tells him that when he comes back, he won't have to look far because he'll be standing right here waiting for The Rock. So it's teasing more and more of a probable match between them at SummerSlam. But now, of course, he wants to focus on Backlash, which I still like to make some sort of like a card prediction for at some point if I have the time, but I don't know, which is in France in a couple weeks. And he basically hypes up the 6 men who are going to be competing in 2 triple threat matches. And the winner of those matches face each other one-on-one this coming Friday on SmackDown. And the winner will face Cody at Backlash. And those men are Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, L.A. Knight, AJ Styles, who he advises is one of 4 men to hold the NWA and WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley, and of course, Kevin Owens. It's not lost on them that they're very sold out tonight, and he turns away from the hard camera so you can see everybody who came out tonight. He is no longer the hunter, but the hunted, and tells 6 men that if you come at the king, you best not miss. And those on SmackDown who claim to be unfamiliar with him, he makes it simple. His name is Cody Rhodes, once undesirable, now undeniable, and your undisputed WWE champion. It's nice, little hype promos, just welcome to SmackDown. I mean, it looks like Cody's going to be put on SmackDown, especially based off of the promo he had with Jey Uso on Raw this past Monday, which I will talk about that in another video. But of course, as that's ending, SIkoa is backstage with Paul Heyman, and I believe there was something where they tried to go into their old locker room, but Cody's sign was there now, basically saying that they lost their locker room. And Soul says he's going to take care of this, but Heyman stops and says there are wins and losses and consequences. And they lost, and that means the dressing room, of course, ain't theirs, but they're going to get back there. And that's an order from the tribal chief. The first triple threat we had was Bobby Lashley, L.A. Knight, and Santos Escobar. Match was good, as expected. We did get some involvement from the LWO outside the ring. Bobby Lashley, of course, did, and the Street Profits, of course, also did, kind of equalize them to get everybody out of there. Nice couple little reversals, but eventually, after Santos passes Bobby into the corner, LA Knight off the distraction hits a BFT, and he wins the first of the 2 triple threat matches, which, of course, Cody Rhodes and LA Knight would be a very interesting match to see. And also, of course, who LA Knight will be facing next week would also be very interesting. We'll get to him in a second. Backstage, Rey Mysterio was interviewed with the LWO, talking about how Santos lost his karma, and Carlitos says he is, like the kids say, all cap, which, of course, we're still wondering if Carlito is going to eventually turn on Rey Mysterio, which, again, I'm not a fan of, because everybody turns on Rey Mysterio. It's getting kind of old to me now. Rey says the truth eventually surfaces, but he is focused on Kevin Owens and AJ Styles tonight, and he believes he has another run as champion in him. And then we had probably the best part of the show. So the Bloodline come out, minus Roman Reigns. And he says, tonight, by orders of the Tribal Chief, there's no excuses for WrestleMania. They don't blame John Cena, they don't blame The Undertaker, and they don't even blame Jey Uso. Accountability is a very big word on the island of relevancy, and Roman Reigns has ordered that they accept accountability. He talked about how Roman could have smashed Cody with a chair. Instead, he focused on getting revenge on Seth for breaking the Shield, and he took his eye off the ball to indulge in that revenge. Excuses. Solo, though, then cuts him off. It says if winning and losing matters, that there's consequences to losing. That means consequences lead to change. Which Solo then kind of pushes Paul Heyman to the side, and he starts staring down Jimmy. But in Solo then embraces Jimmy and tells him he loves him. And Jimmy returns the same. And then Solo turns aside. But as he turns aside, a man in a hoodie attacks him. And it is, which I heard he had signed over the weekend. And I thought he was the one who was coming out when Seth Rollins came out at WrestleMania during the main event of night 2. But Joseph Anyawai, or now known as Tama Tonga, came out of nowhere and attacked Jimmy from behind. Solo then pulls him aside, and they throw their ones up, and it's like, wait a minute, was this orchestrated by Solo? Paul Heyman's like shocked in the corner, I think he has no idea what's going on, goes to call Roman Reigns, but then Solo takes the phone and it's like, enough of that, we don't do this anymore, and he starts smashing the phone under his foot. And then Solo then does a horse collar hip attack on Jimmy with a chair and tells him again he loves him. And then he does a Rikishi again, and they leave and walk up the ramp, and Paul Heyman is just like super lost. And I'm like, whoa, like, first off, if this is a way to get Jimmy out of the bloodline, great. I don't know if you could really make him a face again, or if you're gonna put him back with Jay, again, at least have a story and at least have it make sense. You know, like, I mean, you could still continue the feud with him and Jay at some point. Well, definitely can't right now because Jay is going to be fighting Damian at Backlash for the world heavyweight title. But again, like I said, Jimmy has had no character development whatsoever since he turned heel. And again, the story with him and Jay should have worked. But again, they really did nothing with it, unfortunately. So, again, like I even said from the beginning too, you can keep him as a heel. But again, I think you have to separate him from the bloodline. I think that was the problem. I still think that Jimmy should have been kept separate from the bloodline when he turned heel. It shouldn't have been about, him getting back with the bloodline because it made no sense. I mean, it could have made sense, but, it just felt like they were just stalling time until WrestleMania. But, we'll see where that goes. I do like that Solo kind of like took charge and it's like enough is enough. Unleash like another monster or something like that. Which could be where they're going with this. I kind of hope so, but we'll have to wait and see. But that was probably my favorite part of this show was that moment there. Braun Breaker squashed Cameron Grimes. I didn't like that. I mean, I didn't like that Braun Breaker got a new theme song. I'm fine with Braun Breaker getting a win, but can we please give Cameron Grimes a shot? Why is he on the main roster if he is just going to get treated like a freaking joke? So, I mean, he might be someone that they may just have to send back to NXT as well to give him something to do because they've given them nothing on the main roster so far, which is ridiculous. And then AJ Styles had a promo saying this ain't just another match, it's a chance to right the wrong of WrestleMania, and he will demolish everything to prove a point. Bayley comes out and soaks in "You deserve a chance." She says, feels good. And this time was different, not just because she had to beat someone she thought was a friend, but the title represents a new era. And more talented locker room than she's ever been a part of. She then, of course, thanks the fans. And then interrupting her is Tiffy time! Tiffany Stratton comes out. And she says Bayley's clearly building to some kind of open challenge. And if so, she accepts because it's Tiffy time. And Bayley's like, I'm embarrassed for you. It's nice to meet you. But she wasn't going to offer an open challenge. She was kind of planning on letting Naomi be her first challenger. And Tiffany says Naomi couldn't win a title if it glowed. Basically. So Bayley kind of wants to reward Naomi for being one of the only people who had her back. Naomi comes out and Tiffany says they were in the middle of something and she already beat Naomi. And Naomi takes the time to get in there and says Tiffany is trying her on the wrong night. Yes, she beat her before, but she's earned everything she's gotten in WWE so far. And she's not stopping now. So she's not going to accept Bayley's offer because she wants to fight TIffany first. Right here, right now. Which, a better promo by Tiffany Stratton. Again, that promo still she cut right before Elimination Chamber was absolutely cringe. Like, this was a little bit better. Maybe because she's built a little more credibility. And again, they have booked her well on the main roster. But they do have the match. And Naomi does, in fact, beat Tiffany Stratton. I think that was Tiffany's first one-on-one loss, I think, on the main roster. So Naomi kind of got her revenge. She's going to fight Bayley for her women's title shot this coming Friday on SmackDown. Paul Heyman was backstage, and it was asked if Jimmy Uso's okay. Before he can answer, Tonga rolls up and stares down Heyman and says that by orders of the tribal chief, and Solo finishes the sentence by sticking his thumb out, and Heyman reasonably asks, what's that supposed to mean? So now, again, is Solo going into business for himself? Kind of adding back a little bit of intrigue to the Bloodline. We'll see where that goes. Again, I do like the idea of having someone new in there like Tonga. Again, Jimmy, needs to be on his own. Or if they have a story to get him and Jay back together, fine. Although, I still think at some point, Jay should win the singles title. He should be world champion, I think, at some point. Jimmy's not even close, but, we'll see what happens with Jimmy. I don't know what they're going to do with Jimmy. I just feel like Jimmy might be a little bit damaged goods at this point, but we'll see. A-Town that undercut a promo, crowning them winning the SmackDown tag titles. And then the Street Profits and New Jack Republic are watching that promo along with General Manager Aldis, who says they'll find tag champ the challengers for them next week as well. And I believe there's some sort of like a fatal four-way. I think it's New Catch Republic, Street Profits, Legado del Fantasma, and Authors of Pain, who are going to be in a fatal four-way next week for the number one contendership. Logan Paul, of course, was on his phone at home, raving about how he retained the U.S. title at WrestleMania. Lovely. And Logan Paul is going to be a daddy. Who's the mother? His actual fiance or the U.S. title belt? Ooh, I had to go that far. But anyways. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven got squashed by Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And then right before the main event, we had Kevin Owens head to the ring, asking Byron Saxton if he has seen the cool camera shots where they follow a guy these past couple weeks and says he wants to try them and borrows his microphone. He takes one of the sports title belts, which is for the Detroit Tigers, because he likes tigers. And he cuts a promo as he walks in one long camera shot, saying how him and Ray have things in common, like having sons that are taller than they are, but his son is cool and good, and Dominic sucks. And he and AJ Styles are standing in his way, and he's going to kick both their asses. And he gives Jamie Noble the microphone and tells Bruce Pritchard to hit his music, and he goes out. Again, those different production things have been pretty cool. Like these long shots of them walk to the ring, especially the one they did with Sami Zayn on Monday on Raw, was actually pretty cool as well. Give the props there to that as well. But we had the main event, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. Match was good, as expected. Some good counters, good back and forths. I did like how the match ended. I think Ray took out AJ with a crossbody and then blocked Owens' German suplex, both of them. 619, Owens had a stunner. Ray went up on top, but then he knees up on the Senton Atomico, and then Styles moves Owens into position. Ray then cuts him off with palm strikes, and AJ gets him. I think Owens was one for the Senton. AJ got his knees up, and then when Ray was doing the palm strikes, AJ caught him, did an avalanche Styles clash on Ray, and landed on top of Kevin Owens. And AJ Styles pinned Kevin Owens. And we're getting a rematch for WrestleMania this coming Friday on SmackDown. And it will be between LA Knight and AJ Styles. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm interested to see, of course, both of them get a shot at Cody Rhodes, which, honestly, I kind of want it to be AJ. Only because it feels like AJ's time is really starting to wind down in the ring. And I think he should get another one-on-one title match, I think. I still wouldn't want to see him and Roman, but may not happen, but him and Cody would be a different match. LA Knight would be awesome too, but I had this feeling they may go with Cody. Go with AJ. But I'm cool with LA Knight as well. We shall see. That's SmackDown. That's all that happened. Basically just set up a little bit for the future. We got a title match with Naomi and Bayley this coming Friday on SmackDown. I assume we're also going to get the new tag belts for the SmackDown Tag Champions. We got new belts on Monday for the Raw Tag Team Champions, which they're now called the World Tag Team Champions. I'm assuming A Town Down Under would be the WWE Tag Team Champions, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But interested to see where it happens, and I think it should be a pretty good show to attend on Friday. I will definitely try to take some pictures and video and share them on the Instagram page if possible. But guys, that is my review on SmackDown. I hopefully you guys enjoyed the new SmackDown graphics as well. What are your guys' thoughts this week about SmackDown? I gave it a B. Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. And also be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. You may also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!